Welcome to Sake and Hot Tubs with Fred and Lisa, where big ideas start small, just like conversations shared over a glass of sake and a soak in the hot tub. So pull up a chair, pour a glass, and let's dive in, because in this hot tub, ideas don't float, they take shape. Welcome to Sake and Hot Tubs. We actually have a great presentation for us today. So Lisa, what do we have today?
Oh, I love him. Today we're welcoming two of our favorite administrative professionals in honor of Administrative Professionals Day. First of all, our guest is Stephanie Adair. Stephanie is the transaction coordinator for the Jennings real estate team. She joined the real estate industry in 2017, getting licensed in 2019 to help her better serve her clients. Stephanie also lives a double life. As a bookish influencer, growing her social media presence and building up women to live so their 16-year-old self would say, dang, she's so cool. I love that. That was from Rachel. Not only is she a class coordinator in the real estate world, but she also manages the chaos of being a mom with 2 kiddos, a couple dogs, a couple chickens, I hear a guinea pig, and a husband at home. Awesome. Welcome, Stephanie. And then one of my favorite people in the world, Rachel Blair, another ISU alumnus. We have a lot of those on the show. Rachel's our loan officer assistant and marketing content creator for our business, Global State Mortgage, but she also is the podcast producer of your favorite podcast,
Sake and Hot Tubs.
Rachel has worked in real estate for about 4 years on and off, working for a local realtor, Chris Betts, before jumping into the mortgage industry, which we love. She took that leap. When she's not working her 4 jobs for us, she does a lot. She's deep in a sci-fi fantasy book or some kind of craft. She did make us our Christmas presents.
That's true.
Which was so
Which
cool.
I appreciate that.
Or she might be snuggling with her dog, Charlie. Or a dog. Dog Charlie. I don't know.
Any dog, really.
A dog. She loves her dogs.
All the dogs.
No one knows more about the power of the pivot than the chaos coordinators of the real estate industry. Welcome, ladies.
Thanks.
That was great.
Thanks.
Actually, it's so funny you bring that up, because I know we brought this up with other actually real estate agents, is that really it's the year of the pivot and shift.
Yeah.
And I think no more than now, it is so essential to actually have our resources that enable everybody to pivot and shift.
Yeah, and I would say, like, talking about just you guys as chaos coordinators, which I think is hysterical. But I think that as a loan officer, we work with really good ones, and we work with ones that aren't so good, which we might get into a bit. But you guys are great, so thanks for being here.
Thanks.
So we're going to just kind of set the stage a bit. So Stephanie, you know, got into real estate. Now you actually even have your license and everything like that.
Yeah.
So can you just kind of tell us just a little bit, like, this is my journey to, like, snapshot of to get here? And
Spark Notes version.
Well, I mean, you guys are probably going to eat up the more detailed version, so I'll just give it to you. I was working at a credit union originally for a few years prior to real estate, and in my last 6 months working at the credit union, we were actually robbed at gunpoint twice.
Oh my gosh.
And it was because, I told you they'd eat this up. So we have, the first one was shocking. The second one was, okay, I'm done, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
And I was literally on LinkedIn like, what do I do?
That does not involve being robbed.
Because I had spent years at that credit union building my career there, and I was on a track to become a loan officer. Like, I was gonna be in your field. I was getting ready to do it. And then I, you know, just because of the trauma and everything, I couldn't be there anymore. Took me 2 years to set foot in a bank ever again.
Yeah.
Which was interesting because I went straight into real estate. So where do closings happen?
Yeah.
So
I gotta walk into a bank.
yeah. So now, granted, I should say, like, for like personal use, like if I was like, okay, I'm just going inside, I'm gonna get the documents, or I'm gonna drop off the documents. They said it's right at the front desk. out, like in and out, like, and
you're like, I'm going through the drive-through.
Yeah.
yeah. So back to LinkedIn. I'm like, what do I do here? And I was like, I just need something so easy, like to not even think about it. Okay, mindless assistant job. They're going to give me tasks and I just do it and whatever. So I found a broker who was looking just for a runner admin assistant. So that's where I started. That's what I was doing. But then, it progressed from there, and then, just kept getting more and more involved.
Nice.
So, but I realized I was not crazy enough to be a sales agent. I don't want that life. I love and respect real estate agents so much, like the ones that are actually out producing the sales. I respect them so much, but I do not want a job that's 24/7. I like that, because I'm more involved, yes, I am more like, it's not 8 to 5.
Yes.
It's not, but it is, so it's nice.
So let me ask you a question. So when you kind of started your real estate position, there had to have been something that triggered you, like, there's got to be something more of what I want to do. What was that motivation behind, like, okay, I just want to do these 3 things, right? What else?
Like you got your license to better help the situations.
Right.
So, it's less profound than you think. I got licensed. I got licensed just so I could open the lock boxes.
Oh. Well, because there's
originally speaking. So the progression was, hey, I like doing these having this mindless task job was fantastic. But then as I started going to more and more office meetings, I realized there was more to real estate, right? And so I asked my boss for more responsibility. I was like, okay, I can handle it. Well, then I got licensed I was just getting so frustrated. I couldn't find a realtor to open a lockbox when I was supposed to go set up a listing. I'm like, I have to put this key in here.
Yes.
But I have to go find somebody first to open it. So I got licensed literally just to be able to do that at first and to have my own login to the MLS. That just made things simpler. But then I had my broker did give me a couple of opportunities to do my own sales. I was like, okay, this isn't bad, but also these texts at 10 o'clock at night and the random showing at 3 o'clock in the afternoon that totally throws off my day. I'm like, no, that's
Thank you
not
so
for
much,
me.
but
Thank you for the opportunity. The commission for those 3 sales I did was nice, but I'm like, I want to choose my own mental health, and that's not the whole on-call thing. For me, that wasn't it. So,
but kudos to you for even, I think that there are a lot of people in a position like you had that don't see even this helps me do my job better. I'll just be like, well, sorry, I can't open the lockbox. Oh, sorry, I can't get on the NMLS. You're gonna have to do it.
But it also makes you more marketable, and it also makes you more, I would call it, to the person that hired you, more, what's the word I'm looking for?
You're valuable. I mean, your position, you can
really
get more value in that position because you can take more off their hands.
Now, here's the thing. I do help with showings. I do help with open houses, but those are scheduled. They don't throw off my day. I'm not immediately putting something that I feel is important on a back burner. This has been built into...
So she drives a Bronco, just so right now.
This is in my schedule, so it's part of my work day. It's fine.
Because we went by and I'm like, I think that's Stephanie's car.
I am I think I'm the only yellow soft top in town.
Yes.
I have seen a hard top. I haven't met them yet. I might weirdly stop them the next time I see them.
Hey, man.
Yeah, hey.
Give them like a goose instead of a duck.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
Right, I know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So let's transition over to Miss Rachel sitting next to you. So tell us, you were also kind of in that TC position in real estate, took a little journey, and I love it because we've known each other that you end up in our office.
Yep.
So just kind of talk to us about why you even that experience and ending up
in real estate.
Yeah.
That's kind of a story of pivot. So my major in college was family and consumer science, and I originally wanted to be a teacher, and then I got into the classroom and I was like, this is not for me. This is not for me. I love kids, but I like that we can spend a limited amount of time together, and then, I can send you back. And so I decided that I liked the event coordination and the project management part of Family and Consumer Science. So I worked for the Ames Convention and Visitors Bureau for a while and did like local Ames events, which was so fun. And then the pandemic hit, which was unfortunate for a lot of event coordinators. So
how do you pivot from live to TV?
Nothing. Yeah. And if you know me, I'm a big people person. Like, being unemployed and at home was really hard for me. So I found Chris hiring, and I knew him from the Boys and Girls Club. We had done the gala committee together and stuff. And he was looking for someone to help him grow his business. And so I was like, you know what? I can project manage a bunch of vendors. So I think one person I can do this. And so I started in real estate, and it's a people person first business. And I really like that about it. So kind of pivoted, and then life happened, and then I pivoted again, and now we're back to real estate. And I definitely like this side of things. It's similar, but a little bit different, and so I like this area, I think.
Well, definitely a compare and contrast. I know we're going to ask a couple of questions about that, but it definitely is, compared to what you were doing before, contrasted to what you're doing now. So both of you actually literally had that shift.
I was literally in finance and went to sales, and you started in sales
and went to finance.
I know. We just flopped.
That's why I think you two are so interesting, because now you're in something that you're like Rachel's working on her license as well. So I think that it's fun just seeing you. I mean, because I think that you find what you're good at and what you love. Like, I love what I do, and I love coming to work every day. And I think that sometimes you just have to have a journey to kind of get to where that is and what fits in your life and everything like that.
Well, and you always say you don't know what you don't know, and that's super evident in real estate. You really don't know what you don't know. And so...
and it changes all the time.
And yes, and same with life. Like, you don't know things about yourself until you try it or experience something, and then you're like, oh, that's not for me, or that is for me.
Wait, you didn't want to be a loan processor when you were in kindergarten when they first...
No, girl. I didn't even know that was an option. It was teacher, nurse, firefighter,
astronaut,
police, astronaut.
Okay, now that you asked, so what did you want to be?
What did I want to be? I actually, so I went to school at Iowa State for meteorology.
Oh,
awesome.
So
something I didn't know.
That's why I have Twister on my car.
Oh, I love that. Twister. Yeah. Rajesh. Big Bang Theory, working in the planetarium.
That's what I wanted. Yeah. That's what I wanted to do. Yeah.
I love that.
I know my limitations, though. As soon as I got to college and I started taking those courses, I go,
peace out, man.
No comprehende. Yes. That the math.
There's a lot of math.
I'm like, I'm just gonna stick to storm chasing.
There you go.
Fun.
I can't do this. I accepted my fate.
So both of you working, so I think it's interesting because you both have to talk to a lot of people. So you have to talk to lenders, you have to talk to realtors, and vice versa and everything like that. I think we, like realtors and loan officers, all have our perspective, but I always think the people that are really having some of those conversations, what do you think like the biggest disconnect is between realtors and lenders in that conversation?
You want to know what the funniest thing is? When I talk to, this sounds so like non-personal coming from me, but my job is very analytic from the background. Like I love that I get paid, but I'm a vanity position. Like I'm not technically needed for anybody to buy a house.
Right.
I'm fully aware of that. So I'm a vanity thing. But the thing is when I talk to anyone in the real estate, like the sales side, we use the address. As far as like, there's a file number, there's an address, we use numbers.
Right.
We use numbers to identify this transaction. If I call a lender or loan officer and say, hey, so for like 123 Smith Street, you're like, yeah, no, give me the person's name, please.
Yes.
That is so obvious.
It sounds very
so
non-personal,
true.
and it's not meant to be that way. It's just how we process our files.
Yep.
Because if for working with somebody with the last name Smith, I'm not calling my closer and saying, hey, for the Smith file, they're going to be like, what? Oh, I meant Carlson Street. But if I call the lender, hey, for Carlson Street, what? I mean for the Smith file. It's just...
That's actually so true, because
It's
I
how
know
you
a lot
know
of
what?
times we do that in the subject line.
We do, and we should be putting an address.
Yeah.
That's like really good information.
So for me specifically, when I create my subject line, I do the address. Buyer last name, like I put it all there because I know that when I go back and I look at it, I'm probably going to search for the address because that's what I work with.
Yes.
And
So smart.
Yeah.
but whenever I'm working with lenders, I have to remember when I'm calling or texting
We're
or
looking,
whatever.
our borrower is how we identify everything.
Yes. Yes.
Because a lot of times, right, our borrower will come to us first before they even have an address.
And I don't see a file until I have
So
an
you
address.
have an address, right?
Yeah.
That transition.
Yeah.
So
That's really
yeah.
interesting.
So that's something
Hence
that I've
the
noticed.
transaction coordinator type.
Yeah.
I don't
Not
see
the
anything.
TBD kill coordinator.
Well, but I'm very honest about it though. Like when I first have a conversation with a client, I tell them all the time, I'm like, just so you know, this is not on purpose. We love and adore you as a person. I'm working with addresses all day long. So if I forget your name, it is so not on purpose.
I'm going to where you
I'm
live
just
though,
letting
man.
you know. I just want to let you know I'm human.
Yep.
And that, so if I'm ever like, emailing you or like, let's say I just get it wrong, I apologize in advance.
Yeah.
Still love me anyway. I'm still helping you buy a house. But I do point it out right away that I'm just bad with names because I am programmed to memorize addresses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is actually, in your position, probably really, really good.
It's very helpful.
All right? I mean, no, seriously, right? I mean, we deal with numbers, all day long, and if we go in an error...
But see, and that makes sense, though, why
Yeah.
you go the opposite direction.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's something that's different.
No, I agree. I don't know if you've noticed this, but when I email realtors or like staff of real estate versus like the attorney or the client or something, my verbiage changes and my subject lines change. So if I'm emailing someone on the back end for mortgage, I'm saying like, hi, here's your purchase agreement from so-and-so, here's their loan number. But if I'm emailing you, I'm like, so-and-so is purchasing this home, we need the PA and the EM and the whatever, and it's just different terminology, I think. I also think between mortgage and real estate, the communication is different a little bit. I feel like with mortgage, there's a lot more communication kind of on the back end. Like
To the realtors or to the clients?
To realtors, I would say. So, like, I would say the mortgage professional communicates with a lot more people a lot more often, whereas the real estate agent, they start the transaction, they do communicate throughout it, but it's not as much with the realtor. It's kind of passed off then to the closers and the transaction coordinators and all of that. Whereas like people are still texting Lisa all the time, and then she'll forward something to me and be like, let's take care of this. It's just a little bit different. Whereas transaction coordinating, I'm getting the emails on the back end and just taking care of it. So it's a little different.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you guys have on your side of it when, because I know we have a deadline. Every purchase agreement has a deadline, right? And on both sides, your goal is to meet the deadline, to get them to the closing table, to get people into a house. That's always the goal. When I first got in it, they're like, now it's not so often, but there's a moving truck on the side of the road with 2 dogs and a cat and 4 kids trying to get into a house, so let's get them into their house, right? Yeah. When things slow down, like you're like, oh my word, there's going to be a problem. What do you guys see that you think causes the slowdown? Do you have something that you're like, is it usually mortgage related? Is it real estate related? Is it the borrower? Is it the lender? Like, what do you see?
I think It's the communication.
That's what I was going to say.
So the fun part about being a TC is I'm the one who has all of the tea. Because
we have all the information.
I'm on every email that doesn't have the client on it. And not that there's anything yet, I'm going somewhere with this. Yeah. So it's the fact that like the realtor might know that there's a negotiation problem that might curb the deal. You have no idea yet. You guys are waiting something for underwriting that we don't know is a problem. And we don't want to worry the other side just yet. So no one says anything. And I'm sitting here like,
So we basically have a duck and a duck.
I know
Everything
something.
looks great above.
I know something. I know something, but I'm not supposed to say anything, you know. And God forbid we're dual agency.
Which
and
means,
I really know something, but I can't say anything. It's not my responsibility.
Right. So somebody who doesn't know what dual agency is.
Yeah, and so it's one realtor is working both sides. So they're listing the home, but they're also working with the buyers that are buying that home, so they're representing all parties.
Yes. And so, so most of the time when we have oh no, we now have a delay, whether it's a day or a week, I feel that most of the time it's because one party knows something the other one doesn't. We don't necessarily, and we don't need to say, I'm not saying that it's malicious, it's just there is no need to bring it up until we have to. But by the time we have to, maybe something else is just tweaked enough on the other side that it totally derails it. And you're like, crap.
And the day before closing is not the time for either side to say that it might be a problem.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
So
eat the frog first.
Yeah. So, and you know, not that happens all the time. It doesn't happen a lot, but when I do see a problem, it's normally because somebody waited just a tad too long to say the thing they should have said, and give a notice.
Agreed.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
And it's never malicious. It's just you're trying to keep the deal together, and it doesn't need to be a problem until it is actually a problem.
Right.
Or the gap is there, and you don't know how to close the gap just yet.
Yeah.
So why inform everybody before we have the solution to that gap?
Yeah. We know there's a problem. Let's find a solution first, and then, oh no, wait, we didn't find a solution in time. Now we really have to say something. So
I also think if you bring up the problem with everybody, then there's too many cooks in the kitchen. And there's some things that only your real estate agent can handle, and some things only your mortgage lender can handle. I also think something that delays on our side, communication is huge between both the borrower and the realtor, because realtors are super busy. We don't always have their, transaction coordinator contact, and if I don't know you, then I can't pressure you to get me what I need. But with a borrower too, they're like, oh good, we're under contract, it's enough. And it's like, actually, we have so many things to talk about. And so anyway, I think it's just like, how do you best communicate with your borrower is a big thing, especially with us. Like right now we have a lot of people that are call people versus email, so we'll be emailing and I'm like,
what's the worst form of communication?
Email, probably. We've been finding a lot of people are better with, like, I'll shoot off an email and I'll be like, I'll text them and be like, hey, I just sent you an email, can you check it? Which for me is really hard because I'm like, please just check your email. But, some people don't work in their email all day like we do, so.
Lenders, I call, then follow up with an email.
Yeah, smart.
She knows this.
Yeah.
And then realtors, I email, then I text.
Yeah, smart.
Because I'm not catching them on the phone.
No. Well, and they're all different.
But it's because, typically speaking, you guys aren't out running, like literally running around.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can usually catch you at your office or at a home office or something. You're typically by your phone.
Yeah.
So normally my quickest way to get a hold of a lender is on the phone, and then thanks for taking my call. To recap, what we're going to do is just to again get it in writing, recap, but realtors, it's I might have tried to call you, that didn't work, so I'm going to email, hey, there's a time sensitive email in your inbox. then they'll call me or they'll, whatever.
Yeah.
But that's another kind of difference
Well, and
and
a lot
disconnect
of
there.
realtors work differently too. Like, I find a lot of realtors are very type B people, which is why they have a TC to keep the project on track. But like, for instance, like who I worked for before, he works much better with like a, hey, I need you to sit down for 5 minutes. I need to go through these with you. And he's like, okay, blah, blah, blah. An email is going to go unread in your 10,000 unread inbox, versus a sit down, we need to take care of this. And so.
Yeah. So on that note, I think that leads to the next thing. So organizational skills. So I have not lived without a Rachel in my life for a long time because my life says I need a Rachel in my life. I know that about myself. My brother has always had somebody at his right hand because we work the same way, right? We need that person because, like you said, you're like, I don't want to work until 10, or I don't want to take a Saturday morning and do a pre-approval, or, things like that. Well, that's my wheelhouse. But I also realize that I am horrible unless I have a Rachel in my life. So you both have organizational skills, and I think that a lot of people even listening are just like, oh, like, where do you start with things? So just both of you give us just a tip of what, like, when you go to your day, what is your go-to, or what is your, because we have deadlines, all of us do, and you have a list of things that whether it's, did the purchase agreement get signed? Is it on the MLS? I don't know exactly what you all do. Is that all in there? And then like, oh, I've got a lender. Do we have the pre-approval? Do we have all the things we need for it? You're like, okay, we got the purchase contract, borrower situation. Do we have updated pay stubs? Do we have or pre-approvals? Interest rates change. Lisa, have you gone back to these people? Like, that's what she says. So what is your guys' go-to, or what's, like, if you had to give just some tips on skill set? I know her email inbox is way better than my email inbox.
I would say, like, I work the regular 9 to 5, right? I'm not licensed currently, working on that. But I know that you work when I don't. So to help myself, I start in the inbox at the bottom. So I have all the emails I've saved that something needs to be done, but it hasn't been done yet. And so I start there first. And then all the new emails, I'll clear. Like, I get emails every time somebody downloads the app or uploads documents. So any of those random emails, you gotta go. And then anything pressing, I do first, and then whatever closes first, I start working on for the day.
So that's your email, but you also then you have your Excel spreadsheet.
This is true.
I mean, you have things that keep you, because not only do you do our loans, but like you're producing this podcast, you're putting out our social media, right?
I think calendar helps a lot. I do a lot of pre-scheduling for myself, and then also for social media. So I'll work on something when I have the availability, but then pre-schedule it for, like, this comes out on like Wednesdays, right? For loans, I have 2 spreadsheets. One with our clients, loans that are happening, pre-approvals, anybody working on credit. And then I have another spreadsheet for people that are under contract. And so, like, here are literally everything we need to get from the purchase agreement through the closing table. And so I just kind of, it's a checklist for that one, and the other one's more of like a working list of people. So it's very color-coded. It may not make sense to everybody's brain, but it works for my brain, so.
And I think that's important, that it has to work for you.
Right.
I mean, because I've had a few different assistants, and everybody does it just a little bit differently, so it has to work for how you work through your day.
Yeah, for sure.
How about you?
Thankfully, I've been doing this for 9 years.
Yeah.
So nothing's changed in 9 years. Why put the wheel back together? It just works. starts with the purchase agreement, and I have an automated transaction calendar that I've built on spreadsheet and Google, and it keeps me on pace. And I've got spreadsheets on spreadsheets, checklists. I don't know. I really don't know how to explain it. Because it's my own. I have a thing called a Rolodex. It's not a Rolodex. It does not have phone numbers on it, but it's what I call it. And I have these quarter sheets basically, and with a task on it. And if it's not done, it stays there. And
is it electronic or physical?
Nope. Physical. It's like it's scratched sheets of paper, quartered. So that turns into 4 note papers for me. And when something needs to get done, it goes on a sheet. And every morning I go all the way through it. It's about this big right now because we're in April in real estate. Yes. But I go
in
through
Iowa, April real estate.
But that's the first thing I do in the morning is I go through my Rolodex and I take any out that maybe I already did, or I check on those things. So it's Rolodex items first, then it's my transaction calendar because my calendar looks like a Christmas tree. I work for I think 8 agents now, so I check through all of those things. Where like I've got reminders through the escrow process. So like inspection, appraisal. Inspection receipts, just all the things. I think like on the seller side, it's like an 18-point list. On the buyer side, it's like 12, but like regardless. So just keeps me on track there. And then after that, wherever the wind takes me.
Yeah.
Because, different transactions take precedence depending on the day and how close we are to closing. And so it just kind of goes from there. But I start with my Rolodex, then I go to my calendar. After that, I can take new tasks.
Yeah. It's interesting you bring that up. The reason why it sounds so familiar, it goes back to what goes best with your brain and how you actually look at things. Because obviously Lisa and I look at things completely different. I look at things completely different. Like, to me, it's logical. I'll explain. She's like, no, that's not how my brain works. But I think going back to it, I remember, we used to have paper files. And we
used to have actual Rolodex.
Yeah, no, wasn't right. So
I know, that's what I call it though, because it has a binder clip. That's what it looks like when I'm going through it.
But it's true. But we used to forget sometimes to collect for homeowner association certificates, appraisals, all different things. So literally, our assistant went to a Staples or whatever, got a stamp, and just stamped the front of the file. So make sure it's checked, but that's how her brain worked. To us, it was it's checked, but it's like, okay, if that works and we get the collection, guess what? It works.
Yeah.
So I think that is going back to like the theme is like whatever works, it works.
For me, it's handwriting it. If I handwrite the task, it sticks in my brain a lot better.
Yeah.
And then the actual physical motion of being done with that task, crumpling up that paper, throwing it in the recycling.
Gratifying.
Like,
the satisfaction.
Because then if Tracy calls me in like 6 hours, she goes, hey, did that one thing? Yes, that got done. It's in my trash. Like, it just, yes, that was done. Like, it adds a whole physical motion to remembering, yes, I did that.
That's why I haven't checked. That's like, I write it down and I like to check it or cross it off. Like, because that way it's clear.
Mine's an open circle and a filled-in circle.
And I have to zero out my email inbox every day because it doesn't mean that everything was done in that day. It just means that I received the task, I wrote it down. I'm going to handle that when it makes sense time-wise. Like if it doesn't need to be done today, it's not getting done today. Yep. Something else is taking precedent. I'll do that tomorrow. But I have to read the email, transpose it to a task, or that doesn't involve me. Get it out. Like clear the roster.
Yeah.
And once it's in my Rolodex, it's my problem. But if it's not, I have to clear my email. I cannot stand not having my email cleared out every day.
Why are you looking at me, man? I'm not that person.
Yeah.
So
I may be.
You. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm that person
I'm in
too.
Nelson. I'm guessing he's that way too. So when you get a file, on a little different note, so you get a file, what, do you have things in your file that you just sort of, because you probably glance through it, I don't know how it works, like, but you glance through it, is there anything that you see, like, that you're just like, well, this is going to be a fun one? Like, what are those red flags that you're just like...
Not specifically naming clients
no,
or agents, but again, there's situations,
There's just situations that you're just like,
I feel like it's a little bit different in the mortgage world, just because, like, when you apply for a mortgage, I'm kind of opening your whole life, right? I'm looking through all of your bank statements. I'm looking at your pay stubs. If you've gotten a divorce, I'm getting the divorce decree and I'm reading that 20-page document. So, like, I know a lot about your life.
And there's no hiding it.
And there's no hiding it, unfortunately. I'm so sorry. I think for me, a big red flag would be like if somebody first applies, it's like they, like looking at their bank statements, right? So mortgage is all about risk. So when they look at your bank statements, they want to see that you have a savings or that you're making timely payments, stuff like that. So if we open it up and you only have a checking account and that checking account's end balance every month is $5, you're kind of a high-risk client, you know? Or if you're emailing me and you're like, hey, there's some stuff on my credit, and then I'm like, usually if somebody tells you that there's something, there's usually a couple of things on there.
And the amount's probably higher than what they've
alluded
to.
Yeah. So
and their credit score is usually lower than what
right.
they think.
so like for instance, so this is a little bit off topic, but like my therapist said, if people tell you they drink, you should probably times that by 4, because they're not going to tell you that they drink every day, you know, or something of that nature. So it's kind of the same with like, hey, I have some stuff on my credit. Well, there's probably a little bit more because we are going to dig deeper. We are going to run a fraud report. Mm-hmm. And sometimes, like, you can't hide them when there's, like, legal action or something of that nature.
What did I tell you the other day? That, like, because of how lending is done now, I wouldn't be able to buy a house.
Yeah.
I told her that. Yeah. I told her that the other day. Because, I mean, I've bought a few homes going all the way back to 10 years ago. Yeah. It is a different process. Now, I'm sure you can understand that, too. And yeah. The stuff that I could get away with or could hide 10 years ago, not anymore.
You can't hide things. But I also think that what we're really good at is that it's a problem solving. So you have different lenders that are like, nope. And like, I think the difference is, okay, so we've got those things. Now, how do we take care of it?
Which I think is still you were really good at. And I think that, like, we've had many clients that come to us and they're like, well, so-and-so told us we can't get a mortgage. And Lisa will look at their file and be like, that's not necessarily true. It's not a no. It's just not a right now. Like, we just have to do a few things. And so, like, we even had a couple, they came in, Lisa was like, here's your 6-month plan. They did everything and they were able to buy their home and, you know, be first-time home buyers, which I think is really awesome.
I mean, how many times do we see that? Like, we're closing one this week that they never thought they could actually own the home.
Right.
Or we have a loan officer down south who gets 5-star reviews all the time, is because majority of his clients
never thought they would ever be able to own a house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think that is the difference between, again, what you said, it's not now. It's not going to be not ever, but it's just going to be not now. What can we do to make it,
right,
in the next coming
future? And I would say with what you're saying, communication.
Yeah.
So I know we just did a thing on it. Like, don't think we're not going to find out. Like, I think that some people
just tell me.
Right.
Just open up.
If you just tell us up front, then that prevents the oh my word, the fraud report came out and blah blah blah. And oh well, I guess I didn't think.
Oh, I forgot about that part.
Yeah.
It was like, maybe they did with maybe it's trauma. Maybe they truly did forget sometimes.
We did have one. She was like, had no idea, totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
So I mean, that is legit.
Yeah. I think it's interesting too, like, Global State Mortgage is just mortgage, right? It's not a bank. We don't want
your car loan, don't want your HELOC, don't want
I was just going to say, do you guys do any home equity or line of credits or anything like that?
We can, but I have banks that just like, no. I mean, we're really like, we're not going to cross-sell you on life insurance.
So I think it's interesting because it's more like personal, I feel like, than a bank. like you go to the bank, you meet with whoever loan officer is available and stuff like that. Whereas when you're meeting with Lisa or Fred or Trenton or Allie or whoever our loan officer is, it's more personal, and it's like we are focusing just on this big financial purchase. And so, like, even if you can't do it, we're still going to stick with you and help you and problem solve with you versus just a straight, you don't fit in our guidelines and we're not. But do you want to open a checking account?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I was like, she does?
Yeah. Yeah. I think mine, and to go off of those lines, my, like, oh great, when I get a file is not local. Put any of that in, anything.
Yeah.
Sure.
The lender's not local. The real estate agent on the other side is not local for some reason. Why, like, again, I'm licensed in Iowa. I can technically sell any home in Iowa. Is it the best fiduciary responsible person, though, to handle, like, I grew up in Cedar Rapids. That doesn't mean I know what the market is in Cedar Rapids. I shouldn't be representing my friend who's buying a house. I'm going to tell them to go to a realtor that knows that market.
Yeah.
So if the agent for some reason is not local, or a very common occurrence, and again, if they close, it's fine, but like somebody from Marshalltown, because it's close enough, if we are using two different purchase agreements normally, and so like if we have a Marshalltown person offering on an Ames property using a Marshalltown purchase agreement, it just confuses things a little bit. And again, everything's negotiable, but like one thing is like the pest inspection. On the DMAR purchase agreement, it has on there a toggle. Who's paying for it, seller or buyer? On the Ames purchase agreement, it actually automatically says seller. So if you're not reading that, you can't negotiate it, right? If you don't know that it's in there, so you have to read it. And on the Marshalltown one, it's automated that the seller is paying, that the buyer is actually paying for it and ordering it. And so when something's not local to here, it's okay, fine tooth comb it, we can handle it, everything's fine, these close all day, every day. But you have to take a second look at, and when a lender, specifically because of Iowa and our abstract and title, when we have a lender from Texas, I'm sure you're fantastic, homie. But we do things differently here.
Yeah.
And
especially when they say, we're opening up escrow today.
I'm sorry, what? What was that? Yeah. Well, also, okay, so this was really funny. I went to a conference and somebody, and I kid you not, somebody never ate soggy waffles. East Coast. Somebody from the East Coast. Sorry.
Left, right. Yeah, exactly.
A real estate agent from the East Coast was talking at a seminar, and she was all the ED. And I'm like, the ED? What are the ED? She goes, earnest deposit. And I'm like, oh, okay, great.
REM.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm like, at least say EMD or something. Like, I don't know. It just, when you're like communicating, sometimes those acronyms, like you assume the other person knows what you're talking about, and back and forth. But so whenever, or let's say we have a buyer that is purchasing here, but they're coming from Arizona. So just the extra coordination that it takes when anything in the transaction is not local. Not that it's a bad thing.
No,
it just adds those extras.
But your checklist became bigger.
Yes.
It becomes larger.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when I was TCing, there was a couple people who wanted to use, like, an online lender, and there would be, like, extra fees that weren't allowed here in Iowa, or that they would charge that we aren't allowed to charge, and so we would have to be like, you have to pay that. I'm sorry, but
and it's not like $20.
No, it would be like $500 of some kind of processing fee that Iowa doesn't allow, and it's like, oh my gosh, this almost like got charged, and we can't do that. And anyway,
So on that note, a little bit with not local or whatever, but we're in April, right? We're in April in Iowa. It's 80 some degrees today. We could have tornadoes tonight. Who knows?
Great.
But it's prime.
The destruction is not good, but they're so beautiful.
Yeah.
As long as they don't hit anything.
Yep. forget. I'm like,
Anyway,
even driving into town today, the electrical plant had the steam coming up, and Fred's like, "Look at that!" But it looked like a tornado on the
Yeah.
side.
It was into the clouds.
Yes,
And
yes.
I'm like,
It was pretty cool,
That was cool.
because we knew it wasn't a tornado, but it looked really cool.
Yeah.
So if you had, because a lot of people are looking right now to buy, right? I mean, it's prime time, maybe all across the United States. Like, I mean, unless you're in Arizona where it's 100 degrees. But
I feel like it hit us sooner this year than last
it
year.
did, yeah, because the weather, and we've been a little erratic. The Mother Nature's been a little bit up and down. But if you had to give the buyers coming into the market, like one piece of advice that you're just like, man, because obviously you see things on the real estate side and you see things on the financing side, what would you tell somebody that's like looking to buy a house? I don't care whether you're maybe buying your seventh house or buying your first house. Any advice?
If you're hiring a professional, listen to me.
Oh my gosh, excuse me.
I mean, I'm not saying blindly, right? Like,
Yeah.
we're not looking for like a patriarchy situation. I'm just saying that, like, if you're hiring a professional, why are you negating everything they're saying around every corner? Okay, so like, you're working with a lender. If you're choosing to work with an agent, you know, I mean, granted, don't get me wrong, I'm sure that there probably are some cuckoos out there that are saying some weird stuff, and you're like, okay, then pivot, find a new one.
Pivot?
But so much of the time, you know, because I get a backseat to a lot of the kind of client conversations, and I'm just like, you know, everybody has to make decisions for themselves, and you truly, again, because that communication, if you're not being truthful to your lender or your agent, we don't actually know everything that's going on behind the scenes.
Yep.
But if you're gonna buy a house, number one, it's a very personal transaction.
Yep.
Okay, and remember that your professionals have a responsibility to you to not blast it on Facebook. Okay, so just trust them. They're there to help. You're literally hiring them. Okay, they have expertise and knowledge that you don't have for a reason, because we do this every day. If you're hiring a professional, please try to actually listen to that professional. Now, you're totally fine to like second guess, double check authority. Absolutely. Don't want anybody to like blindly follow anyone. But if you feel like you already know this person and you chose to hire them, try to listen to the words that are coming out of their mouth, because it's on purpose. They're trying to help you.
Well,
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just, sometimes I see clients like fight their agent on price, or there's no way that house is worth that much, or why do I have to bring so much to closing? Like, that's not right. And then they go shopping for a different lender, and then they all say the same thing. Okay, I'm sure you get it.
Or why do I need a sewer scope?
Yeah, like,
you don't
just trust your professional in whatever capacity it is, your lawyer, okay, if you're doing it with an attorney. Trust your professional that you're hiring, because they literally do this every day. I understand you bought a house 5 years ago. You have some experience, but we're doing this every day, like hundreds of times a year.
Which I think
Please,
is
please,
interesting.
please, listen.
Because people do, like, you're an engineer, you're own a restaurant. Well, I mean, big difference, right? But that's what you do for a living. I think it's always interesting. Like, I wouldn't walk into the restaurant and be like, so Donnie, why are you having your cooks cook it that way? I think you should change your menu. I think you should. But in real estate or finance, people, for some reason, have this thing. Like, I'm not going to go try to build a bridge either, right? But this is our job. We do it every single day. But a lot of people feel like they can argue, like, I'm going to, even though you do this every single day for a living, I'm going to come in and tell you how you should do your job.
Because they had that uncle that bought a house 10 years ago that is giving the great advice.
And he saw that one hole in the siding that they missed at the inspection.
Yep, exactly.
He's got a good eye.
Right.
And he got 1.5% interest rate. Go shop.
So I just, you know, like I said, I
think
take a
finding
back
somebody
seat.
that you trust too. So I always tell
shop
people,
around, find that person you trust, but
you
then
have
please
to relate,
trust them.
yes, and then trust them, because I think people, I tell them all the time, don't go on Zillow and just fill out a lead. Don't go on Realtor.com. I'm sorry, I shouldn't probably say all this. Don't go on your online Don't go on your online
lead capturing websites
and fill out a form and get sent to somebody randomly, because there's so many good local people, and interview them and find out who you want to show houses, because I always say you're going to spend some time with them.
Also, too, just to add to that, don't judge somebody's experience. And, you know, I say this with all the love in my heart. Don't judge somebody by the color of their hair on whether or not they have experience. That person in their 60s or 70s that looks like they have experience, they could have gotten licensed 2 months ago.
Oh, absolutely.
Versus the 19-year-old that did 30 transactions last year. So when it comes down to interviewing, you can't like outcast either side of it even on who. Like, because I always call it the gray.
We might color our hair.
I always call it the gray hair effect.
I might not.
I call it the gray hair effect, because people just assume that because you're older that you've been doing it for longer, and if the professional, again, whoever it is, doesn't come clean about how much experience they actually have, you go in with an assumption, and then you're being misrepresented in their experience and stuff.
And so I think gaining experience as well, because we all have some people that we had to start at some point. But who are you backed by? Who's looking over your transactions?
And it's totally okay to hire a real estate agent that just got licensed last month. That's not what I'm saying. Like, regardless of their age, I'm just saying that, like, if you're going to use that as your deciding factor, don't pay attention to just like how old they are, because you have no idea what their experience actually looks like until you interview them and ask them what it looks like.
I would say also along that line is your cousin's friend Jenny that is a licensed real estate agent.
Yes.
They might not represent you like you need to be represented just because they know you.
Yes.
You know?
We have run into that so many times. Like, you may trust this person on a personal level, but on a professional level, they're not representing you the way you need to be represented. And I think a lot of times that I see that more often lately. I don't know why, but it's just it's actually coming out much more. And it depends on the transaction. It doesn't necessarily mean a real estate agent or a lender, but it's also other people involved in the transaction. That, well, they're going to give me a discount, or I trust them, so I'm going to go through them. Coming to find out, they have no clue about residential lending.
On the contrast, though, too, I do see sometimes where, like, a friend will hire somebody will hire their friend as their real estate agent, but then, again, they're forgetting they are the licensed professional here. You're questioning their ability to negotiate on your behalf. You're questioning their opinion on the value of the home and all this stuff, and like the inspection and what's serious and what's not. Why did you hire your friend if you're not going to see them in a professional capacity?
Agreed.
So, you know, as much as we all want our sphere of influence to also be our clients, sometimes it's not best. And that's okay. And both parties need to notice that. But,
and again, they don't honesty and communication.
But they don't know what they don't know.
Exactly.
I think there should be, I mean, again, it's up to us to, train or educate all of our clients, no matter who it is. What are the questions you're asking? And I think that's really, really super important, because, again, people look at like, well, I'm just going to go with the super cheapest or the person that knows the area. I'm like, do you know how they negotiate? How have they negotiated? Were they around in 2019 versus 2021 or 22?
Or 17.
I'm like,
17.
Come back and shoot back.
No, that one was nuts. I sold and bought in that year. So
that sucked. I mean, for everybody. But I think, again, those are the questions that they don't know how to ask, or don't know enough to ask those questions. That's going to be important, because they don't find out that was the question they should have asked when they go into that challenge or go into that gap.
Well, something that professionals, I think, need to do more of, lending and real estate agents. We always say all the time, well, we're doing way more behind the scenes than what you notice. Then tell them. Tell your clients what you're doing. Not to be like, I handled this for you today. Not like that, but just like, hey, just so you know, it may seem like a lull period right now, but what I've done is I've checked with the settlement agent, I've checked with your lender, the appraisal came back good, we've got this going on, be prepared that this is coming next. Like, show them that you're the professional. Like, show them that this is all happening in the background, and
that's great.
There needs to be more touch points throughout, instead of just, oh, hey, I haven't talked to you in like 2 weeks, but we've got closing coming up here next week. Let's talk about...
What do you mean you're going on vacation?
Yeah.
Out of the country.
Or, going on vacation. Or you went to the courthouse and got married last week. Yay!
Oh, boy.
So we should all talk.
Or you started a new job.
Furniture and
or you started a new job.
Don't do that
Don't
to me.
do any of those.
Or you lost your job.
Don't quit your job, please.
Don't do that. All right. So we've got some fun questions to end a little bit with.
Okay.
Okay. So what's your do you drink coffee?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I walked in here with it. I left it out there.
That's what I thought. Okay, yeah.
Sip on it.
So you've had a crazy week, or just the day. Well, not to spend the day that you came in and had sake, but the day that you're like, okay, man, I just need a coffee. What's your go-to?
The iced brown sugar shaken espresso at Starbucks, but with, all the bougie stuff. So I've got it lined with caramel. I've got the vanilla sweet cold foam on top. I've got this brown sugar sprinkled on there.
So you're the 10 adjective girl.
It's the one that I wait for my stars to pay for.
Oh yes, because it's got so many.
I get an Americano every other day, but once I have my stars built up, that coffee is $13 if I were to pay cash for it.
I love that.
But my Americano that I buy is $4.95. Yes. It's not that expensive, and no, Dave Ramsey, it did not prevent me from buying a house. I've bought 3.
Don't even get me started.
But did you buy it for cash, or did you charge it?
I am proof. And I did all that.
I used a HELOC to purchase it.
Yeah. So anyway,
I used to have to go through Starbucks with my son. I'd be like, whatever, and he would hand me his phone with it written out, and I would like read
I have a voice note on my husband's phone. He just goes and does this to order my coffee. But anyway, but yeah, so that's mine.
I love it. What about you, Rachel?
Oh, let's see. I kind of drink coffee. It depends on the day.
Yeah, I know. So bad day, I say, hey, Rach, I'm going through Starbucks. What do you want? I know you've had a bad day. You're going to tell me.
2 weeks ago, Lisa and Fred are on spring break. I'm going through it. Okay? Fighting for my life on a Tuesday. So, as I'm coming back from lunch, I stop in the Starbucks drive-thru. I get a matcha with like either raspberry, strawberry, some kind of berry. Yes.
It's a pretty drink. It's
have you tried the ubi coconut thing yet?
So good. The double berry matcha right now would solve all my problems.
I tried to do matcha because, it's supposed to be good for you and all, but I was like, nah.
It tastes like grass.
I'm going to go back to my roots.
So is water with lemon.
I can't do this. I'm out of here. So,
that's funny. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to give you a list. I think I kind of know the answer to this maybe, but tell me, both of you, just one, like, which one are you? Paper or digital files?
Oh, no. I operate with paper, but my agents better be using a digital file or else I'm getting nothing from them. Because I never see them.
Right.
How about you?
So I would say I'm more digital.
She is so digital.
Very digital.
All right, email or text?
Email.
Text.
Morning or night productivity?
Night.
Morning.
Oh, I hate the morning.
Most underrated role in a transaction?
TC.
Honestly, you're administrative professional in the back end.
One word to describe a smooth closing.
Happy. Crickets.
Here's the thing though, I hope you guys understand what I mean, but if I forgot a closing was happening, that's actually a good thing, because nothing happened to make it a forefront.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Oh, for sure. Sometimes we're so clear to close.
Underwhelmed.
An underwhelmed transaction.
I'm like, when I'm going through my transaction calendar, I'm like, oh, that closing is next week.
Yeah.
Well, that's tomorrow.
Everything's good.
You're clear to close.
Everything's good. I mean, I'm never like, oh my gosh, that's tomorrow. But it's,
right.
You're like,
you didn't have to renegotiate.
Yeah.
You didn't
everything's
have to,
fine.
Right.
And I go, now I do have a moment of panic where I'm like, is everything fine?
Are we good?
I go check. Yeah. Okay.
We're like, we sent them their numbers 3 days ago. They're good.
I heard that. Hey, Rachel, did so-and-so? I'm like, oh,
yes,
yeah,
I guess
we're
maybe
good.
forget isn't the thing, but yeah, the fact that it hasn't been at the top of my list is great.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, so we're going to do the realtor-lender thing, just because that's what you both are, okay?
Okay.
So who's responsible?
Okay.
Missing signatures.
Me.
Realtor. From TC.
Me.
Appraisal delays.
Lender.
Well, but if I didn't let them in the house.
Or seller.
Or we had a problem scheduling.
Yeah.
I don't know, that's kind of a samesies.
Yeah.
We're equal.
We're
in that.
samesies.
Yeah. Buyer not sending docs.
Lender.
Probably.
Full lender.
But,
to...
I mean, I would like to think that the lender is checking up on the buyer to see if they're under contract, and that the buyer hopefully sent something over. Mm-hmm. But like the realtor could also update you guys on anything that they need, unless you're talking specifically about underwriting and that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I would say buyers provide more documentation probably to the lender side of things.
Yeah.
I also think some things can't move forward until we have certain pieces. So if I've emailed you 3 times and called you a couple times and texted you a couple times and you still haven't gotten it and there's a delay, that's on you, my guy.
Which then I say that communication comes back, because then I'm typically calling the realtor to say, hey, just so you know, this is what's going on. So if you talk to them, maybe they need to just hear it from another source.
Yeah. Right.
What about closing confusion?
Realtor.
Well, we know what we do.
Well, you know, what do you mean?
Yeah,
like there's so many things that could be, like we could be confused on numbers 3 days before, and we're like, wait, what do you know that I don't know?
Yeah,
or wait, I had this, did you not get it?
This is true.
So it could start, I feel like any closing confusion starts.
Or there could be timing, right? You could have a 5-home transaction.
Yeah,
I did have an interesting phone call yesterday. Hey, are we good to close? Hey, we're closing on Friday. Do you have a closing, time and place yet? Well, and so this is Monday. Closing's Friday. The lender. Well, I just figured out today that this is actually moving forward for Friday, so I'll give you an update tomorrow. I'm like, So I go back through and I'm like, this has always been scheduled to close this date.
Yeah.
So again, what did she know about it being delayed that I didn't know yet? And I'm like, you know what? We're going to let this simmer. We'll deal with it tomorrow.
Yeah. I will say, kind of on which I think we send out we always send to our realtor partners and to our borrowers like a closing calendar request, because we've scheduled it, where it's going to be, what time it's going to be.
The lenders that send out an invite for the closing, just like, thank you.
Yeah. But
why am I chasing it? What do you mean?
Yeah. Right. Which
we're representing the same person.
Which is interesting though, because we do work. So we serve Iowa, right? Because like I've traveled 2 hours to a closing before. Yeah. So different realtors handle things differently, and we are taken back when the realtor's trying to schedule the closing and the time and everything, and we're like, you need the funds. So in like our head, we're thinking it's not your job to schedule the closing. But I think, especially in some of the smaller communities, they're working with online lenders and not local people who are helping them out. And so they just take it upon themselves to do it, which then we're like, wait, like we do that.
That's the service we provide.
We provide that, but so it's adjusting to different closing, whatever. So anyway. Well, thank you. So we appreciate everything you guys have said. I think people are going to find it super interesting, because you hear a lot from the front end, and you don't hear as much from the people that
We're the fly on the wall.
Yes.
We may not have responded to those emails, but
I'm there.
You're working on it.
I'm CC'd right there.
We saw it.
I love that.
We're there.
So we always end, because Fred is our sake sommelier. Sommelier. I always say things wrong all the time. So we picked up, because you've already done the peach sake. So Stephanie did pop in one day, and we served.
That's because she posted on what was it? Was it a Snapchat story or something?
I'm like, look at all the sake in our work fridge.
I ran over here as soon as I saw it. I went.
You were like, it's been a day.
I heard you have sake in your fridge.
So what are we drinking today, Fred?
So Sashokobai, this is actually an organic Junmai Gensho sake. So it actually is brewed in Berkeley, California. It actually, also the rice comes from, which is Calrose rice. You may have it, in different types of.
What kind of rose?
Calrose.
Calrose?
Calrose organic rice, which is actually.
I've never purchased Calrose organic rice.
You can actually see it, but it is from the Sacramento Delta in Roseville, California, where I used to live. So they polish the rice to 60% of its grain, which gives it actually a more clear versus the kind of I would call it less quality sake, which is a little more brown, which usually is polished. Yeah. So a lot of the impurities are actually milled out of the rice. So we're trying to get down to the pure essence of what the rice is. So this is polished to 60% of that brown rice. So it actually looks very, very stark white. The alcohol content is about 15%, but it's actually used from organic rice. So it's funny, you may not taste the difference between a regular organic or a regular sake just because it's still a pure, that rice, even though it's organic, it hasn't used chemicals or anything else. I mean, literally 40% of that rice kernel, of a very, very small rice kernel, was milled away. So the fermentation of anything getting into it, I know they're going to probably knock me for it. No, it's organic. I'm like, sure it is, but you knock 40% off, right? You knock 40%
because it's on the label,
right? Of what the husk was. Yeah. So that's why you're still getting a very, very pure.
And this is going to taste different because your peach one that you tried has flavorings in it, and this is a no flavoring. We'll give you guys the bullet eye ones. There's one purple and one blue. And then just so you know, Stephanie, so we pour a little bit. We cheers to kanpai. Kanpai is cheers in Japanese.
Okay.
It smells good.
It does smell good. All right. Kanpai. Here's to Administrative Professionals Day.
Yeah.
Woo! Thoughts?
I think I actually like that better than the flavored one.
Really?
Yeah.
I do like
It has a distinct flavor, right?
So sake has a flavor to it.
So usually is the koji, which is the mold that they use in order to produce it. So that's usually a lot where you get that taste from, along with
there is 4 ingredients. There's not just mold.
mold, water.
You know what I ate yesterday for a snack?
Yeast.
A bowl of blue cheese crumbles with candied walnuts in it.
That doesn't suck.
Sounds really good.
That sounds really good.
So I'm not afraid.
So you're like,
I think I
and
like.
no dry
the only mold that scares me is the
cranberries.
stuff that comes up on inspections. That's it. If
Bad
it's in a house, then we've got a problem.
Bad mold. Food
that's
mold's
one
good.
of those red flags.
Yeah.
That's another one of those things that's different in our world. I'm not telling you anything about the inspection.
Oh, please don't. I'd rather
don't
You're
not.
like, I don't want to know. And I'm like, I don't want to know.
I'll send you the report. I'm like, I don't want that.
I don't want to hear about your inspection.
I don't want it.
No.
I don't want your seller
need to know.
disclosure.
I love it, but I always picture it. I always picture it though that you guys get. Oh, so they're getting $1,000 credit from the seller. That's cool. Here you go.
Exactly.
You're like, I don't want to know
so
nothing.
nice of them.
It's so nice of them to do that. Every time I pass that in, I'm like,
Please don't put what it's for.
I'm like, oh, good.
Well, and there's some realtors that like to give. I'm like, I just want to know what the seller's credit.
Yep.
So I appreciate that.
Yep.
All right. Well, there's Appa, and he's like, you guys have been in here a while. So
Yeah. Well, thank you both.
Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
Yay!